Chukuna Rake Ekeloma Rurugi Chukuna Rekeloma Ekeloma Njiribia Chukuna Okaka Ekelama Rurugi Chukuna Rekeloma Ekeloma Njiribia Ekeloma Ekeloma Rurugi Chukuna Ekeloma Njiribia Ekeloma Rurugi Chukuna Rekelama Kelama Ruruge Yezenare Kelama Nam Kelama Ruruge Chukuna Kelama Njiribia Chukuna Rekeloma Ekeloma Rurugi Chukuna Rekeloma Ekeloma Njiribia. You know what I'm begging him today is that he should not allow me to share a hidden secret of eternity without praising. So what I'm going to do is teach small worship. Just come to the altar, knee. You know, a man that is about to say what I'm saying, what I'm about to say, should kneel. Kneeling is not much. This knee, is it not him that gets it? A man is just a man. A man that is about to say what I'm about to say should kneel. I feel like I should teach kneeling. Now, what value has my knee? Outside God, there is no value to that name. It's not human being that taught me worship. No. It's not man that taught me how to worship. You see, when I look into eternity and I see the end of all things, and I look at little men, I look at little men. I look at very small men. I look at what they. So when I see people run up and down, I look at what worries them. And then I look at what I have gone through. What I have gone through in continuous suffering, in raising this camp. Yet he preserved me. Maybe somebody hear what I said. I say in year after year suffering. I was there and an angel told me, he said, did you forget when you came from Kano and you knelt here? You were kneeling here throughout. He said, this camp was nothing. There is nobody that is here now that was around that time. There's nobody here now. I came all the way from Kano because, you see, something happened to me in Kano a week before I came, or throughout that January. There was this door, there was this church across the main road to the other part of Warri Road. And you know, I like retreat. So one day I was retreating in around there. They were still building Kano Church. But I got a room up in the second floor. If you go to Kano Church, there is a place that is 2-bedroom flat there. But I built it as the residential in case if we have a guest that want to sleep in the house. It's still there in Kano. They now use it for communion room. So I took a parlor there, and then I was a small room there. I was retreating there, and suddenly that church was busy preaching, and it was coming into my room. The Lord told me there. He said, "You leave here and go to the bush in Galilee. All this things they are doing is wasting time." He said that thing that pastor is saying there is nonsense. He said these are things men say and they don't win battles. So I said, what will I do? He said, call the wife of Yobia Demora and ask you to get you lion head, like Shah, like Peteri. So I call Auntie. I say, Auntie, I want to go to Galilee. I need a cover. I wanted to come here. She's going to give me oral soup and all that. She's Anglican, but she liked me. So she brought it to me and I came into this. I wanted to stay here 3 weeks. 3. Because I knew there was nothing. I said there was nothing in township. There was nothing in Kano. Nothing. I need to go to the bush. Now why I left on 17th day was because Mama was after we stayed, she kept on asking me, is anything wrong? You've been around for more than 2 weeks. I said, no, I went to, she saw I was going to the bush and was coming here because sometimes if it rains, we'll come here February. But we are, okay, in the night we are coming here. But in the day, go to the bush. Because I knew that 20 years ago, that the church has stopped. I knew 20 years that the church has stopped. 20 years ago. That was my boldness to come here. I knew that I was doing nothing in Lagos. I mean in Kano. That I was, no. Is it to preach? Is it to repeat sermons? I've always believed in retreat. There is no moment like this moment in my life. If I stop coming here for retreat, then I'll stop preaching. Lagos will still be there now next week. Which Lagos again? So, please sit down. Chuku are elama ekelama rurugi Chuku nare elama kelama Chugunare kelama ekelama ruruge
Chugunare kelama ekelama
I was there now. God, an angel brought a being that is in this camp. Somebody who is even here now, to my room there. He brought an image of a being that is here, and asked the person to talk. And asked the angel asked that person to talk, and the person started jabbing. So I was asking the angel, why did you ask him to talk? He said, I want you to see valley. So the person started stuttering. You know, with clone tongue. So he asked me, what's the value of this soul? He said, this soul has what value? No, so like, you know, sometimes I use that word, it look like it's vulgaric. On little people, little men. I want to show you how people can be little. That is, when people don't even know what is called a standard. And I want to be sharing it on the man God depended on to create his world. The man God depended on to create his world. If you are looking at me, I want to make a point very clearly. Please, as much as, even though it's not a privilege, you know, the other day I said in Lagos, I said there are things God does not keep in the market for people to buy. There are values He doesn't keep. No, He doesn't keep in the market. There are things God does not allow other men to ask Him. I said there are values God does not keep in the market, because such values are reserved to some people. So He doesn't make it open. He doesn't allow you to fast and pray about it, because it's not available. So He kept it for some men so that they can rule others through it. I just read in the newspaper that the Israel IDF went and bombarded Damascus because of the Druze. They went to Damascus and started bombing Damascus near the presidential house. Because they wanted to produce the Druze of some religious sect of Syria from the version of government officials of the new regime. And that story said, and the government official withdrew from the Druze, but they were terrorizing the Druze until the Jews started bombarding, started, a strike. Whom buildings were collapsing. So those who came to fight withdrew. So their president said, it's not that they're afraid of the Jews, it's that they don't want to fight now. Now, excuse me, does a Jewish man, is he afraid of fighting? They put out get tired as Syrians. They know that the Jews will fight to finish. People who went to beside the presidential lodge and started bombarding the place at Damascus. Those who came with machine, that's fighting machine, they withdrew. Because if over a war, they would turn Syria. They would crumble Syria like Palestine, like Palestinians. They would, at least 1 month, the place is crushed. This is a country that when they are fighting, women will be fighting, men will be fighting. And they don't regret anybody who died. And because of their nature, because of what? Their nature. They don't die in war. The soldiers of the Jews are the most moral soldier on earth. The other day they were talking about their weakness, how their inversion. Excuse me, they will never say that a Jewish soldier raped a girl. You wouldn't hear it that out of the things that Jewish soldiers did, that a Jewish soldier raped a girl when they went to fight war. But that is what is common everywhere in Africa. When Africans go for keeping each other alone, they will bring girls. You want to play with somebody who is highly moral, with a pig. A highly moral person. So some people say it's not morality that matters. Excuse me, you cannot introduce holiness. Holiness of God without morality. No, you can't introduce it. You will never introduce it. Sometimes, I preach and say it's not abstinence that matters. What do you mean? There must be abstinence before grace. You want to talk about abstinence without discipline? With God without discipline? How? Can I tell you something? If I say this, I'll believe I bless you, then I'll go into what I'm teaching. I tell you something that I want you to remember. In every life that will go far, from start, discipline will be core. It's a thought. Huh? From root. If discipline is not from root, greatness will never come. If very deep morality is not found in root, it's not, please, this I'm telling you does not wait for teacher. Teacher, for a teacher, is late. If somebody is waiting for a teacher to teach him that, before the teacher comes, the person is already bad. Did you hear what I said? I said before the teacher comes, the person is already bad, so it's not left for a teacher. It's something that root provides. I said something. It is a deep thinking in a man. It's not yet for a teacher. You know it in your thought that this can happen. That you cannot live in a way. That you can't live in a way. Please, it should not be handed over to a teacher. Before the teacher comes, it's late. Excuse me, if you don't build strong foundation on discipline, how do you assess great honor? How? How do you win battles? Now it is in that we are even measured. I say where? That we are measured. We are not measured in what we are doing. We are measured in the seed. No. That particular seed already knows its nature. I said he knows. Yes, and he's being taught by the spirit of the seed. When you were in primary school and secondary school, you don't need to wait for a teacher. I said we are being taught by. We are being taught. You are being taught by what? By the seed, the spirit of the seed. Because if you are waiting for a teacher, before the teacher meets you, you have made a lot of mistakes. Irreparable mistakes. Whatever that I learned it from what I know originally. Let me say it again. I say whatever that I learned it from what I was not taught. Let me say it again. I say whatever that somebody taught me and is with me, I learned it from something. From something I was taught from myself, from the spirit of my seed. So I was not waiting for teacher. Don't forget that this life I am living is not a teachable life. What I say it is? No, it's not a teachable life because it's not normal. You don't tell a boy to live like me. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. I said you don't teach somebody you don't teach somebody to live like me. Oh. So I was not taught that. And then somebody is trying to say he was not taught. I said, what about the spirit of your life? The spirit of your life is the first teacher, not the standard. Can I make it simple? Huh? Discipline is not as important as what you don't like. You don't like it naturally. It's not religion. God. There's a way you are made that you don't like it. That you don't like is not different from you are afraid of God. If it's afraid of God, you won't go far. It's not Enoch. It's not Enoch that made Mama, like I said in the morning. That made me. I told you 12. Mama was not calling me. Ask her. If she here, like I'm going to go to that place now, today, maybe in the midst of prayer, to go and say hello to her. If she here, I'm coming there. I'm coming. Mama knows that I'm not coming there to relax. She doesn't know me as somebody who relaxes. And it's not, I don't know whether it's the right word here. That I'm not going there to be friendly with her. That, no, huh? No, I'm not going there to be friendly. I'm going there for business. Even to say hello to her is still. Is it not? Look, it's not me that you and went there and I said, Mama, are you all right? She said, yes. I turned. I just carried myself to her room. I said, Mama, are you fine? She said, yes. I started going. That is not religion. It's not. No. It's a form. It's a form. That's the thing. If it's not there, people will raise hypocrisy. You are doing things for fear of God. How? What about your urge? What about your motives? What about your desire? What about your capacity? This is, you struggle with it. If you don't have it naturally, sit down to take alcohol. Hang around in this place with village girls. Shameful. That time I was young, what I used to wear to stay in my house is white. White cloth, white singlet, and white knicker. At home. And I use that white to read. Because I like reading. Sometimes when I was doing JAMB in 1996, I didn't go out for 2 months. It's not religion. This life I followed to Agata High School, to Kano, to Surulere, to Aja, to develop this place. If it's not there in the physical, it will not be there. I've done it. This morning is that check is the one you're worried. I've confirmed it for solar. You know, like what I said yesterday, the change will come. Give me plenty money. Plenty money is what you will give me. Yes. You know, same thing. When I did bad day, she brought box. She brought box. She said, this is a oligarch. That is a billionaire of local Sam. I said, nobody's stopping you. Let me leave it. But is it like opening your eyes? Huh? Huh? Is it like? Let me say one more thing. certain families and certain nations can produce certain people in the natural. That's what I said about the Jews, that they have high moral value. It's why they cannot be annihilated. You see, because there's a value God must protect. Particularly if a value is uncommon. And if a people have a quality of life that other people must depend on, they can't die. Because, excuse me, they can't be annihilated because other people are depending on them. The Jews already know. So can you have a quality other people depend on to live? I was able to read Damascus because the Jews were involved. What am I doing with an Assyrian person? I followed the story because of the Jews. If that story started with Assyria, I won't read it. With Syria, I won't read it. Something is called quality of life that control others. Quality that control others. It's not every land that can produce men. That can produce men that other men will depend on to live. So if there is war, is it that one other people depend on to live that way? That? No, now. If he dies, then these other people will not live. Maybe somebody hear what I said. I said, if that one that people will depend on to live dies, then those who depend on him to live, they won't live. And the man does not live from God. Men live from men. Men live from men, not from God. God must raise a man that other ordinary men will live from. I'm going to share it on men live from men. I'm going to take stage sharing on 3 courses. Then we'll start praying. Is that something you learned? What made me shepherd is not spiritual, please. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I became shepherd. It was the one that introduced shepherd. I said it was the one that introduced shepherd. I have some things in natural that God calls shepherd. Shepherd is just a name that a value produced. Think about how a man can come from an environment like this and become that thing you know. Think of the things I met. Think of the battles. Think about how this place was. If this place is still like this now, you think about how this place was 60 years ago. Pastor Desmond, open this door. The man God depended on to create his word. Father, thank you for having your way. Embarrass us with your power. Jesus' mighty name. Now, there is nothing more powerful. There is nothing more powerful on earth. There is nothing more powerful on earth. More powerful on earth than to be a media, a medium of creation. And it is a privilege. It is a privilege only 2 beings we have in eternity. The lamb and the lion. In fact, the real thing is not even lamb. It's the lion himself. I say it's a what? It's the lion. If you the lamb is just like a shadow. The lamb is a shadow. It is a shadow, something that is introducing the real thing. Something that is introducing. Now, what is touching me this morning is that a lot of human beings, instead of understanding that they were born to create, they are trying to feast on the created. They have become so minor that things that are important, that talk about how their omnipotence doesn't make meaning to them anymore, because witchcraft has so much wounded their thoughts. So they see themselves as nothing. So how can they win? Now, if you look at John chapter 1, then 14.